Welcome back. We were in the live classroom of the UAE, My Teacher. We were in the process of discussing the areas of grade 10 physics. So, I hope you are still tuned with NTV. So, I was mentioning about what to do after grade 10, and many of the parents and students may be having concerns about those. I was mentioning about those things in the first half of this, and we are talking about some questions as well. But one more thing I want to tell you is that I forgot to tell you at the first half. Let me mention about that. See, in grade 11, when you perform for the exams, do not think that the final examination is the only one examination you are going to perform, or that only needs to be performed well. You will have many examinations, and most of the schools, they have continuous assessment as well for the overall performance of grade 11. Not only that, when you apply for the foreign universities and some universities in India as well these days, they ask for the consistency of your performance. Throughout the year, how you performed. Like in the report cards or progress report, if you have got the red lines, or you say low performance and all, it may affect your eligibility there in admission to good universities. So, be very clear, be alert that you have to perform consistently throughout the year, both in 11th and 12th. It is very important. Okay? So, do not take any examinations in a lighter note. With that note, we will move on to the areas of discussion today. So, first I will show you some points related to spherical mirrors. I have seen an interesting video in YouTube. So, we will see that. After that, we will come back to the board paper questions of. So, this actually this one explains about the spherical mirrors. Okay, spherical mirrors, and after that we will see the questions as well. So, the spherical mirrors, the basic things, that is what is shown in this. Just carefully watch this. Watch it.
The reflecting surface of a spherical mirror.
So, the reflecting surface of spherical mirror, it is curved inwards or outwards.
A spherical mirror
so, you can
is
see that
mirror whose reflecting surface is a part of a hollow sphere of glass. One side of the mirror is well polished, and the other side of the mirror is opaque. Are two types. 1. Concave mirrors. 2. Convex mirrors. Concave mirror. A spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is curved inwards, that is, faces towards the center of the sphere, is called a concave mirror. Convex mirror. A spherical mirror whose reflecting surface outwards is called a spoon curved inwards.
the terms we have to understand about the spherical mirrors. First, we have the term pole.
Surface of a spherical mirror is a point called the pole. It lies on the surface of the mirror. The pole is usually represented by the letter P. The center of curvature of the spherical mirror. The reflecting surface of a spherical mirror forms a part of a sphere. This sphere has a center. This point is called the center of curvature of the spherical mirror. The radius of curvature of the mirror. The radius of the sphere of which the reflecting surface of a spherical mirror forms a part is called the radius of curvature of the mirror. It is represented by the letter R. Here, the distance PC is equal to the radius of curvature. The principal axis. Imagine a straight line passing through the pole and the center of curvature of a spherical mirror. This line is called the principal of axis. Observe this video. The principal focus of the concave mirror. A number of rays parallel to the principal axis are falling on a concave mirror. Observe the reflected rays. They are all intersecting at a point on the principal axis of the mirror. This point is called the principal focus of the concave mirror, the principal focus of the convex mirror. The reflected rays appear to come from a point on the principal axis. This point is called the principal focus of the convex mirror. The distance between the pole and the principal focus of a spherical mirror is called the focal length. It is represented by the letter F. The aperture. The reflecting surface of a spherical mirror is by and large spherical. The surface then has a circular outline. The diameter of the reflecting surface of spherical mirror is called its aperture. In diagram, Mn represents the aperture. The relation between radius of curvature and focal length. The radius of curvature is found to be equal to twice the focal length. We put this as R equals to 2F. This implies that the principal focus of a spherical mirror lies between the pole and center of curvature.
Okay, that's it. So we have seen the video that shows the spherical mirror, two types of spherical mirrors and the image formation. So in fact, in the video there is a small error in the video, that is convex mirror, they say it's like the focus, principal focus is what is not correctly shown there. So you might have noticed that principal focus of the convex mirror is the point where the light rays appear to meet. I've showed you, I showed you last session, or the first session I showed you about that. Alright, so now we will see some questions which were asked in the board paper 2014, that is the last board examination paper. I will just show you, and some of the questions which are relevant to physics portions we will see. So just look at one question, it is actually the real question paper, you see the question. So this is the question paper. So you can see the first itself, the face page you will see like this. This is last year's question paper. This I have downloaded from the CBSE's website only. So you can do that, you can also do that. So just look at the fifth question. The linear magnification produced by a spherical mirror is plus 1/3. Analyzing this value, state the type of the mirror, position of the object with respect to the pole of the mirror, and draw a ray diagram to justify your answer. Alright, so now you can listen to the listen here onto the board. Okay, so the question asked is, the linear magnification produced by a spherical mirror is plus 1/3. Be very clear, the magnification, two things you can clearly make out about the magnification. If the magnification is positive, that means the height of object and image in the same sense. So if the magnification is positive, it means we get a virtual image. If the magnitude of the magnification, or the size of the magnification, if it is less than 1, so here it is given, it is plus 1/3. So positive 1/3 it is given magnification. So it shows clearly the magnification is less than 1. If the magnification is less than 1, it means the image is diminished. So what do you understand from this? We get a diminished virtual image. So can you say which mirror will give you a diminished virtual image? Always remember, you might have seen the rear view mirrors of the vehicles. Then in parking lots also we have mirror. It was shown in the video which we just saw now. That mirror, that is what kind of mirror it is? It is a convex mirror. So the rear view mirror, we have convex mirror. So a convex mirror only forms a virtual diminished image. So from this value we see that the image is virtual diminished, virtual because positive, diminished because less than 1. Alright. So the answer to this is, what is the type of the mirror? The type of mirror is convex mirror. Understood? So the question was this one, linear magnification is given. Analyzing this value, state. First question, type of the mirror. Type of mirror, convex mirror. Second question, position of the object with respect to pole of the mirror. as far as a convex mirror is concerned, where should we keep the object to get this kind of an image? Virtual diminished image, where should we keep the object? So, we have to say about the position of the object with respect to pole of the mirror. So, if this is the mirror, say this is convex mirror, and where should we keep the object with respect to the pole to get the image? See, remember, you know, in the rear view mirror of the vehicles, we can see from wherever the vehicles are from behind, you would be able to observe it on the mirror, observe the vehicles on the mirror, on the convex mirror. It means what? The position is irrelevant, you know, wherever the object is, we can see that, right? The position of the object can be anywhere. So, you have to draw the relevant diagram also to justify the answer. That means, you know, as far as a convex mirror is concerned, maybe this is pole and this is focus, sorry, this is the focus and this is the center of curvature, this is pole. So, these all are behind the mirror only, but we have to keep the object in front of the mirror obviously, no, right. So, we are keeping the object here. So, a light ray if goes parallel, what will happen to this ray? It will diverge as if it is coming from the focus, right. Another light ray you can take from the object like this. If you take this ray will go reflect like this, okay. So, this ray also will appear to meet here somewhere. You see, you extend these two rays backwards, you will see that they appear to meet here. So, we get a diminished virtual image. This is the relevant ray diagram. You understood the question? The question was linear magnification is given, what type of mirror? So, you look at the question, the linear magnification produced with the spherical mirror is +1/3, analyze this value and type of mirror, analyze the value and say what is the type of the mirror, position of the object with respect to the mirror, diagram. Clear? So, that means once again I will tell you the answers. Type of mirror is convex, virtually diminished. Position of the object anywhere in front of the mirror, because you know, irrespective of the location of the object, it will give virtually diminished image. And next the diagram. Diagram, I showed you this diagram. This is the diagram. Okay. Now, another question I will show you. That's again we will be taking the question from physics. Right. Yes. Look at the question number 16. You can see it on the screen. Look at the question. A student wants to obtain an erect image of an object using a concave mirror of 12 centimeter focal length. Okay, 12 centimeter is the focal length of the concave mirror. What should be the range of distance of the object from the mirror? That is one question. State the nature and size of the image he is likely to observe. Draw a ray diagram to justify your answer. Okay. So, once again the question, student wants to obtain an erect image of an object using a concave mirror of 12 centimeter focal length. Okay. That means the focal length of concave mirror is given as 12 centimeter. He wants to see erect image. Again about concave mirror, again I am telling you, concave mirror forms both the types of image, that is virtual image and real image, erect image and inverted image. When does a concave mirror form a virtual image? When does it form a real image? It forms a virtual image only when the object is between focus and the pole. Right? All other situations it will give inverted real images only. So, here what the question is, student wants to obtain an erect image of object. Erect image of an object means it has to be virtual. When does a concave mirror form virtual image? It forms virtual image when the object is between focus and the pole. What is the focal length? Focal length is 12 centimeter. So, what should be the range of distances? The question is, what should be the range of distance of the object from the mirror? So, it should be within 12 centimeter. Is that clear? If the object is kept within 12 centimeter from the pole of the mirror, it forms an erect image. Then only it will be, it will be virtual as well. Nature and size of the image. Nature is virtual and the size is enlarged. Concave mirror always forms enlarged image. Okay. So, once again, range is within 12 centimeter, the nature and size virtual and enlarged, then draw a ray diagram to justify the answer. Okay, the diagram you must be knowing. Okay, anyway, today the time allotted for this class is getting over. So now we have to wind up the program, but remember, I hope you had seen some of the questions from 10th standard physics. So more questions are there from these papers. Keep practicing and keep watching this program as well. Every day you have from 5 to 6. Make use of these sessions, these classes, and hope for the best for all those who are writing the board exams, and very best of luck to all the students who are watching this program and all the students who are writing the 10th standard board examination, and hope for the best in 11th grade as well. Okay, stay tuned with NTV. We'll see the next week. Till then, bye bye.